Oh my goodness. I am so damn nervous for this fight and matchup going on this weekend between Gaethje and Oliveira. I swear to God, I can't even tell you how nervous I am for this one. If you look at my channel banner, my channel art, I have Justin Gaethje is one of the fighters there. He's one of my favorite fighters. Not my number one favorite, because that spot's reserved for Max Holloway. Shout outs. But he's one of my favorite fighters. In fact, Justin Gaethje is the type of fighter in person where I'm like, I question what type of fan you are if you're not a fan of Justin Gaethje, because it's pretty much everything you want in a fighter. So if you don't like Justin, I question what type of fan you are. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Obviously, they're fighting this weekend, and I'm very, very nervous. I'm gonna explain to you why I'm nervous in a second here. While I have these beautiful, by the way, beautiful, nice graphic here. Shout out to UFC.com. Thank you for letting me use this. So I have a video on my channel. Go ahead and watch it after you get finished watching this video, of course. Titled "Justin Gaethje is in Trouble," and what I mentioned in the video that, again, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. I really like Justin, but I think that this is going to be a really, really tough matchup for him. Really tough. One of the things that I don't see a lot of people talking about is the similarities between Justin and Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. I am not saying that they're the exact same fighter. I'm not saying that the way that they strike or move is similar. I'm not saying that the way they grapple is similar. I'm not saying that at all. Obviously, Justin. I'm just going to say Gaethje utilizes calf kicks much more than Poirier. Poirier, the way he rolls with his head is different than the way Justin Gaethje rolls and moves with his head. Their power is pretty similar in terms of, grappling, takedown defense. Gaethje probably has, he has a longer background with wrestling. I'm not saying that they're the same fighters, but there is some similarities about them that I don't see enough people talking about. And why does the similarities have me worried? If you look at the fight between Poirier and Oliveira, first of all, let me just say this. I still think that Dustin Poirier can beat Oliveira in a fight. I just think he needs to do a couple things differently. Obviously, that critical error in round 2 where he rolled and gave that round away. Tiny, tiny details. Remember, I always say that can win or lose fights. I still think Poirier could beat Charles. But my point is that, look, one of the big things about them is their styles are pretty similar. Obviously, I think that Justin does use the leg kicks more, or calf kicks. But remember the thing about Charles, okay? He has his boxing, elbows, knees, leg kicks, body kicks, front teep kicks, head kicks, clinching, submission threat. He is a really well-versed fighter. And then on top of that, incredibly tough, which he's shown his last 2 fights. I believe that Justin Gaethje is going to drop him this fight, minimum 1 time, maybe even more than once. It could even be 2 times he's going to get dropped, because Justin hits like a truck, and Charles, he's pretty prone to getting hit, which is one of the reasons that I think that Charles isn't going to be champion for a long time. He gets hit just way too much, and I think that's going to... Toughness is only going to take you so far when you get hit and drop like he does. It's not like, Max or some other people where they get hit, they just stay standing. Charles gets dropped, and he's almost got finished by Chandler, pretty close. And again, I still think that Poirier, with some adjustments, can beat him and TKO him. But I think that one of the issues is that I hope Trevor Whitman, obviously I don't need to speak for him because he's obviously much smarter than me about this. I think Charles is going to be going ham when it comes to attacking the body. The leg kicks and the body attacks, I think he's just going all out. And I think the other thing he's going to try to do, Justin Gaethje does not have bad cardio, right? Like, he can go 3 pretty hard rounds or 5 pretty hard rounds, especially in a striking match. But I think that what Charles is also going to be trying to do is, he's probably seen the Khabib fight and the type of pace that Khabib put on. Again, I don't think that he can tire him out that quickly, like Khabib did, because I think with Khabib, the amount of movement that Justin was doing because he was avoiding the takedowns, I think that Charles is going to do something pretty similar to that. I think that he's going to do something very similar where he put that crazy pace on Dustin to test Gaethje's, conditioning. vicious body attacks, and then constantly threatening to take the back with the submissions. And because of the similarities between Dustin and Justin, I don't know if Gaethje can make a big enough widening in the and difference in the fight, right? If Charles gets Justin's back, Justin's going to get submitted, right? Justin doesn't have some crazy submission defense. If he puts on that high pace with the body kicks, that could cause him trouble because, again, Gaethje uses a lot of hands. He does have the calf kicks, but he uses a lot of hands, especially at close range. It can cause some issues because Charles is going to be mixing it up. Elbow, hands, body kick, leg kick, elbow, punching, submission threats. Unfortunately, as much as I love Gaethje, and I love him, I think this is going to be a tough fight for him to win. I'm rooting for him. I really want to see him to get like a legitimate championship because, interim title doesn't really count. And somebody who's been fighting for that long, entertaining us for that long, I really hope he can put it on. Always remember, guys, the winner of this fight is facing Makhachev, probably. Probably, right? Because I know Dana says he's going to make Makhachev do another fight, but probably going to be facing Makhachev. And Oliveira versus Makhachev is pretty much going to be, Khabib versus Oliveira light, in a sense, 1.0, 2.0, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much how we're going to see how he handles him. It'll give us an idea how he's going to handle Khabib too. Quickly, the Ferguson and Jesus, dude, look at the significant strikes landed per minute though. And then look at the absorb. This is what I'm talking about, yo. He's going to be eating a lot of strikes, but giving a lot too. So Charles is getting dropped minimum one time, but we'll have to see how it goes. Now, really quickly, the Chandler Ferguson fight. There's only one reason I can tell you right now that Tony has a chance of winning. I think normally I would never give Tony a chance of winning. There's only one thing. If Chandler goes in and fights really reckless like he did the last fight, dude, there's actually a chance Tony could win because Michael might gas himself out trying to finish Tony, and then Tony could just win rounds 2 and 3 because Chandler's gassed. This should not be a fight that Tony wins. I just think Tony's not being the elite. The only reason that he has that he may or may win this is because Chandler might gas himself out, busting and breaking Tony's face apart. I think Tony's going to be bloody. I think he's going to be beat up. But if he can survive and let Chandler gas himself out, he can win this. Which is crazy for me to say because any other lightweight right now, he's not beating Charles, he's not beating Gaethje, he's not beating Poirier, he's not beating Makhachev, not Dariush, he's not beating RDA. McGregor, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. But most of the top lightweights he's not beating. But Chandler, simply for that reason, because Chandler has that questionable gas tank when he pushes himself. And here's the thing: if Chandler fights like normal and he just picks his shots and takes him down and has a smart game plan, he should be easily getting 30-27 on this, and without gassing himself out too much. Because in the stand-up, I don't think that Tony's going to pose much of a threat. And in terms of submission, Chandler should be smart enough to just stay in full guard and not get submitted. This is Chandler's fight to win. This is Chandler's fight to lose, because if he just goes all out in round 1 and gas himself out, then Tony's going to win this fight. Which would be crazy to say, but I like Chandler a lot too, which I really like Michael Chandler, so hopefully he can do it, but I'm telling you, just round 1 is critical. If he gasses himself out, he's losing the fight. Or it's going to become a really, really brutal fight. So I hope Chandler's coaches tell him, do not go reckless. You can easily win 30-27 decision if you just fight smart. That's literally all he has to do. Just fight smart and he wins. Can he do it? That's a different question. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more content similar to this. I might have more content coming out this week for other UFC 274 related stuff. Catch you guys later. Peace.